Hello everyone, Football Manager Tactics here and welcome to a new season in Football Manager 24 with our Liverpool save. So, we are just about to start the new season. We have the Community Shield match against Man City. Not the most important match, but something that I'd like to win. If we don't win, it's not the end of the world, but we have a lot to get through. Some very, very surprising things to get through. So let's just dive right in and get to it. Some of the transfers here are absolutely wild, so be prepared. Okay, so where do we start? I think probably the best place to start is with our transfers out. As you can see, we have sold 353 million worth of players and brought in 160 million worth of players. So where did this 353 million come from? Well, there is the small matter of the sales of Diaz, Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah. Shocking, I know, absolutely shocking. I really didn't want to let them go. Well, Diaz, I was prepared to let Diaz go. I got an offer of 100 million, just over 100 million from Newcastle for Diaz. So I decided, hey, I said I'd be happy with 100 odd million for him. I got 100 odd million for him. So Diaz has left for Newcastle. Not ideal that he's still in the same league that we're in. However, 100 million was not to be sniffed at. Then Al Nassr came knocking and they offered me, I think originally they offered me something like 38 million for Virgil. So I renegotiated and I put in a sum of 100 million. Because I wasn't going to let Virgil go for 38. So I put in my counter offer of 100 million and they countered with 70 plus add-ons to bring it up to 79, almost 80 million. And in my head, I was thinking, okay, Virgil is at least 32, right? He's 33. So nearly 80 million for a 33-year-old is absolute madness. Like, it's bonkers money. Yes, Virgil was the captain of our club. Absolute unbelievable player for us, but he's very much so the wrong side of 30. He was kind of starting to decline a little bit. Like, he's still a fantastic player, no doubt. Absolutely unbelievable as a centre back, but he was starting to decline. We have plans. We want to rejuvenate the squad even further. We want to reduce the average age of the squad. Don't really want players over the age of 30, to be honest, as much as we can avoid it. So with that offer, I accepted it. Virgil also indicated that he really wanted to speak to Al Nassr, and I can understand why, because when we actually go and look at his contract, Virgil is earning 1.8 million per week. 1.8 million per week at Al Nassr. For us, he was earning about 350 a week. So, like, he's actually earning more in a week than he was earning in a month with us. Madness, absolute madness. So yeah, I was happy to let him go, and you'll understand why now in a minute, because of who we've signed to replace him. Same thing with Salah. So again, I wasn't prepared for this whatsoever. Al Ittihad came in with an offer for Salah. I think it was around the 80 million mark or the 90 million mark. And again, I was like I'm not accepting that, but let's see what we can do. So I put in 180 million as a counter. And then Al Ittihad countered back with 160 million. And again, the same situation as Virgil, 160 million for Salah at 32, I think he is. Yeah, 160 million for Salah at 32 years of age is just mental. Like, it's unbelievable. That money is crazy. How could I say no? Yes, Salah was our star player. He'd be a star player wherever he goes. But again, he's the wrong side of 30. He was starting to show signs of decline. There was a couple of games last season, especially towards the end of the season, where I was absolutely shocked at how bad he was. There was even one game he played for us. He had a 5.9 rating. And that just wasn't acceptable for Salah, to be honest. 160 million. I mean, when you look at it, right, we've had two players who are 33 and 32 respectively. And we have got 230, possibly 240 million for two players over the age of 30. I mean, how can you say no to that? So yes, technically we might be weaker, but we are working on some deals to replace the players that have left. We have already signed a couple of players. We'll talk about them in a second. But yeah, like just crazy money, crazy money. The other player who we let go was Wataru Endo. Just didn't really play enough for us last season. Again, he was just a little bit kind of on the older side. We have players in that position that we want to develop, especially the younger players, the younger English players coming through. And I just felt that Endo probably wasn't going to get enough game time for us. He would have required to be registered in our Champions League squad. And I didn't want to waste a Champions League squad place on him, to be honest. 20 million, it's a reasonable enough deal for him. I think we signed him for like 15 or 16 million. Oh no, we signed him for 20 million. So we basically just made our money back on him, which is not too bad. Had to pay his wages for a year. So what? I'm happy to have let him go. He did contribute a bit last season with 6 goals. But, you know, thanks very much, Endo. Enjoy the rest of your career at Roma. So on the incomings, we have 3 confirmed signings. One that we already knew about, which was Idumbo Muzambo. That is a tongue twister. Stanis Idumbo Muzambo. He can play on the left and he can kind of play in the middle as well. So it's handy to have a player that can play in both of those positions. Yes, he's very well down the pecking order. He's only 18, or he's 19 now, actually. He's definitely one for the future. We signed him on a free. He's worth nearly 40 million. Like, happy days. If it doesn't work out for him, we can chuck him off to another club, probably for about maybe 25, 30 million, and we'll be grand. So, profit there anyway, guaranteed. Next is Nico Williams. So, I mentioned in the last episode that we were very, very interested in signing Nico Williams, especially once the deal for Salah was I kind of known about it before the deal was agreed, so that accelerated my willingness to get this deal done. It made sense. He had he has a release clause, or did have a release clause of 50 million. 50 million for a player like this, again, is crazy. I paid the 50 million. He's now worth between 136 and 169 million. Just absolute no-brainer. He's only 22. He's fast. He's very quick. He's decently strong as well, has good dribbling, probably needs to do some work on his finishing, but overall I'm happy with him. He will develop into an absolute worldie for us, of that I am sure. And on his contract, yes, we tried to get him on a cheaper contract. 225 grand a week is what I could get him on, which is basically half of what Salah was being paid. Salah was being paid 500 grand a week. So the fact that we've got him on half of Salah's contract is pretty good. Like, not that he's going to be anywhere near the level of Salah this season, because again, he's only 22, but he's not too far off, to be honest. He's not too far off. And I truly believe that give him a couple of seasons, this guy is going to be absolutely unreal for us. So I'm happy to have got him in. The last deal that we have confirmed so far is Matthijs de Ligt. So we signed Matthijs as a direct replacement for Virgil. Yeah, we spent a little bit kind of over the odds on him, 110 million. It was a little bit more than what I wanted. Bayern were haggling a good bit, and in the end I said, right, okay, I've got the money from Virgil. At this point, I also knew that Salah was thinking about leaving. It took him a couple of weeks to agree the contract with Al Ittihad. Endo had left as well, so it meant that I knew I had the funds to do it for sure. I mean, I had the 100 million from Diaz, the 70 million from Virgil. So I said, okay, Matthijs is very much like Van Dijk, except the fact that he is 8 years younger, 9 years younger even. He's only 24, comes straight in as our best centre-back. For sure, no doubt about it. He is our star centre-back now. He's worth 121 to 132 million. Yeah, I think he's just a very, very good centre-back overall. As I said, a lot younger. 24, still has loads of time to develop and become a much better player than what he is now. Not to say that he's not a good player, but he has plenty of time. The only downside, I guess, to de Ligt over Virgil is that he's a good bit slower than Virgil, but he's good at jumping, very strong, very brave, quite aggressive, good determination, very good at heading. I'm happy with him. He's definitely going to be our starting centre-back. And we'll pair him with Konate and Diomande. Like, it'll probably rotate between Konate and Diomande, but definitely de Ligt is our main centre-back. In other news, we have agreed a deal to sign Kanta Saito from Japan. He's coming in for 3 million. This guy is also a right winger. I think he's going to be fantastic. We have scouted him. We got a very good scout report on him. They recommended highly that we should sign him. A terrific signing for the future. So how can I say no? A deal for what we paid for him, 3.1 million. He's going to be worth so much more than that. going forward whenever he does sign. Because he's only 17, he can't sign until he's 18, which means we do have to wait until, I think it's January of next year before he can sign, which is fine. We're not in any rush for him to come in. We have plenty of cover on that right wing. But again, it's just keeping the cogs in the system turning, making sure that we always have somebody coming through. You can also see as well that we have 244 million left to spend, and our wage budget, we have 651k per week, which is absolutely plenty to do the stuff that we want to do. So we've also done some scouting. We've done quite an extensive amount of scouting, to be honest. We were looking at some targets that are just completely out of reach, like Vinny Jr., Bellingham. I'd love to get Bellingham. He's just not achievable. Bukayo Saka, I put in a bid of 210 million for Saka and it was rejected. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to pay that much for one player. Yes, I'd absolutely love to have Saka in the team, but he's not worth 200 odd million. Not for me anyway, especially when we got Nico Williams there. I don't want to hinder Nico Williams in any way, shape or form. So yeah, glad that was actually turned down. Before we signed De Ligt, we were looking at Araujo. I don't know, I think I've absolutely butchered that name, but Ronald Araujo. Yeah, we went for De Ligt instead. So yeah, we still scouted him. Rodrigo, we were looking at him. He's too expensive. Scalvini, we were very close to signing Scalvini, like very close. He's actually unhappy because we didn't sign him. But we ended up going for De Ligt instead. So it's unfortunate. I would have liked to have signed Scalvini. We have been interested in him for basically over a year now. I did try to sign him in the summer transfer window in last season. Couldn't get him. Couldn't agree a deal with Atalanta this season either. So unfortunately, Scalvini, we're probably going to forget about him. Pedri, we were having a look at. Yeah, we're not going to go for him either. It's just the fact that he can play across anywhere in that midfield, basically. Yeah, we were looking at him. We're probably not going to sign him or even put in a bid for him. Saliba, again, we were just scouting for defenders before we signed De Ligt. And then we're getting kind of to the players that we're really looking at. So Enciso is a player that we are looking at. He has a release clause of 79 million. Not entirely sure about him, to be honest. He is slightly younger than Nico Williams, but I'm not 100% sold on him, to be honest. Like, I know the scouts really recommend him, but I'm also looking for players that can come in and make a very good impact now. If I'm going to be signing a player for that money, that is. So if I'm spending 80 million on a player, I want that player to be able to come in and make a big difference. I can't see Enciso starting any games ahead of the players that we already have. So I know 80 million would be a good investment in the future, but just for right now, I just don't think it's worth it. Maybe next season when he kind of develops a bit more, if he still has the same release clause, then we might think about it. We had a look at Musiala, that was never going to happen. Evan Ferguson, we did have a look at him. I'm not spending 100 million on a striker when I've got one very good striker and one very good backup striker, so not happening. The other one then that we were actually really interested in was Yeremy Pino. So again, he would have been coming from Spain. He would have cost 92 million. That's exactly how much they wanted. 21 years of age. Again, just with the same as Enciso, like if I'm going to be spending 92 million, I want that player to come in and make an instant impact. He probably wouldn't start ahead of Nico Williams. I think Nico is definitely a stronger player than Pino. Pino has very, very good potential, but I don't think I can fit him in the squad, to be honest. Essentially, he'd be competing with Harvey Elliott for the backup right wing spot, and I'd rather have Harvey, to be honest. The same then again with Kulusevski. We did scout him. Spurs want too much money for him. They want 120 million. I'm not paying 120 million for him. Just that ain't happening. So yeah, no thanks. Anyway, in other news, where do we stand? Okay, so we have a couple of injuries. Alisson is out for about 5 weeks, which is not ideal, especially considering that we have the Charity Shield coming up and the European Super Cup against Barcelona coming up. So our main goalkeeper is injured for 5 weeks. Not ideal. The other thing though is Trent has been injured. He's out for about 4 months. He broke his leg in a friendly against Anderlecht. We're not going to see Trent till Christmas, which is so frustrating. Yes, it means that Frimpong is going to be our starting right back for sure. He's going to be starting every game or most every games, but it's not ideal because I wanted to kind of rotate Frimpong and Trent, but now my hand has been forced Trent is out, and that's going to hinder his development as well. A broken leg is definitely something that's really, really hard to come back from. So fingers crossed, I'm really hoping that he does come back from it the same player he was before he broke his leg. We sent him to a specialist as well to make sure that he has the best chance of recovery as possible. But yeah, very, very frustrating that Trent is out for 4 or 5 months. Curtis Jones was injured as well. He's kind of almost back fully fit, so we'll consider him for the squad for this game against City. So speaking of which, let's go to our team selection. Okay, we have picked our team. So yeah, it's going to be Kelleher in goal because our main man Alisson is injured. Frimpong at right back, Konate, De Ligt in centre back, Robertson at left back. Then it's going to be our midfield pairing of Gravenberch and McAllister, Williams, Szoboszlai, Jota, and then Nunez up front. Actually, when I look at this right wing between Frimpong and Williams, like, that's scary. The amount of pace that's on that wing between Frimpong and Williams, they're both absolutely rapid. So that is frightening. But anyway, that's our team for today. Subs pretty much kind of goes without saying. Like, all of our subs are the usual: Gomez, Harvey, Gakpo, Pavlovic, Diomande, Curtis Jones, Dorgu, and Tyler Morton is actually on the bench as well. Tyler is probably going to be someone I'll keep around at the club just because of the fact that he is trained in nation and trained in club, and he has decent enough potential as well, so we want to develop him. But yeah, that's for later on when we talk about squads, European squads, etc. Now our focus is on the match against Man City, the Charity Shield. Let's go. Let's see what we can do with this squad. Alright, so we have kicked off our first game of the new season with our new look squad, missing our 2 star players essentially of Salah and Van Dijk, but there is room for more people to step up. I'm really looking for a big season from Nico Williams this season, and Bernardo is just able to walk into our box, but thank God that he's put that ball over the bar, because that would have been disastrous for us if he had scored. So Robertson wins a header. Jota has the ball. He gives it back to De Ligt, who has taken Virgil's number 4, by the way. Konate plays it to McAllister, who plays it to Gravenberch, and back to Konate. What's he going to do? Williams has the ball, plays a lovely ball over the top for Darwin. He has to do something here, and Darwin scores. That's Darwin's first goal of the season. That's more like the Darwin that we remember from last season, except towards the end, because towards the end he was pretty terrible, to be honest. But what a delightful ball over the top by Nico Williams for Darwin, and Darwin, cool as you like, puts it past Ederson. 1-0 Liverpool. Highlight for City now. Calvin Phillips plays it to Bernardo Silva, who plays it to Foden. That's a goal. It's a very, very, very good ball from Foden. If Doku isn't offside, which Doku is offside. Thank you very much for that. Didn't look like he was offside from my initial view, but I'm not going to argue. Frimpong has the ball now, can bring it forward. He passes it to Darwin, who plays it back to Gravenberch. Gravenberch out to Nico Williams. We need to be sending balls over the top for Nico Williams because he's such a fast player. Frimpong actually made a lovely run there. Konate just couldn't spot him. But now we have the ball on the left flank. Robertson is marauding forward as he normally does. Plays it to Jota, who plays a lovely ball for Szoboszlai, who has it on the left wing. Plays it in for Robbo. He has to square this. Jota has the ball. Jota puts it in the back of the net. It's 2-0. Unbelievable play again from us. That was sublime stuff. Passing, on point, great movement from all the players. Kind of moving out there of their position. Szoboszlai here on the left wing when he's a centre attacking mid, but we'll take it. Robertson was acting as the left winger there as well. Plays a lovely ball to Jota. Jota on the turn, whips it into the back of the net. It's 2-0 for Liverpool. Robertson now has a corner, sends it in. Nothing doing from that corner, but he will retrieve possession. Oh, he's given away. No, he's retained it again. Ball over the top for Nico Williams, who will get there. Nico with a ball back for Frimpong, who tries to find him again, just gives possession away sloppily. It's pretty poor passing, to be honest, which is actually quite unlike him. He's pretty good at passing, Frimpong, to be honest. Foden sends the ball over the top. Konate gets there, and now Williams has the ball. Gives it back to Frimpong, who will carry this forward. He loves getting down this right wing and he's so good at it as well. I'm really looking forward to seeing the link up between Nico and Frimpong as Frimpong puts a ball in and Darwin gets a shot off, but it's well saved by Ederson. Szoboszlai with the corner. Pops one in. No one there. Haaland heads it away. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm really looking forward to the link-up play between Frimpong and Williams this season. I think they have the potential to form a very good partnership between them. As I said, they're so rapid, both of them. And I think Frimpong will be good on the overlap for Williams. Williams has pace, bags of pace as well. So they're going to really cause havoc this season. I'm pretty sure of it. Anyway, we are going into half-time. It's 2-0. We are dominating Man City, to be honest. 59% possession, 8 shots on target. 8 shots to their 1, 3 on target to their none. We have 2 yellow cards, but yeah, more passes completed. We're controlling this game very, very well. And it's not like they don't have a full squad out, like they do. They pretty much have almost their strongest team out. So it's not like they're giving this game their full attention. They sure are. Anyway, it's 2-0. Let's get into the second half and let's see if we can see this out and win the Charity Shield. Nothing of note so far, but Konate does have the ball. He's on a yellow as well. We might look to take him off fairly soon because we don't want him to get a red card. And now that I've said that, he might get a second yellow and get a red card. So, oh my God, what is McAllister doing? Fantastic save from Kelleher there. Haaland probably should have done better with that chance, but McAllister was nearly gifted a goal to City. And that's the type of sloppiness that we don't want to be seeing. Konate with a header clear from the corner that amounts to nothing. Bernardo Silva is injured for City. They are having a terrible time. Let's make some subs because we do have some tired legs out there. Konate is on a yellow. He's not tired really, but we don't want him to be getting a second yellow card. It looks like we're going to have to use most of our subs to replace most of our attacking players because they're all absolutely wrecked. Darwin can come off for Gakpo. Szoboszlai can come off for Jones. Nico can come off for Harvey. And we'll probably look to replace Gravenberch. We'll keep him on for now. It's either Gravenberch or Jota, but Jota is wrecked as well. Let's just go with this for now and then we'll see how we get on towards the rest of the match. McAllister has a free kick and it's a good save by Ederson to tip that behind. That was a great free kick from McAllister. Gakpo is now on corner duty apparently. So Gakpo sends one to Harvey, who sends it back to Gakpo and he's offside. What an absolute waste of a corner that was. That is definitely not a routine that we've been practicing, or at least I've been practicing. I want corners to go to the near post. I have no idea why he tried to send that to the edge of the box. Anyway, City have possession now. Foden is on the ball, almost dispossessed by Robertson, but Foden plays a ball back. Gakpo has an empty net, and the ball is blocked by Gvardiol. Gakpo should have scored there, to be honest. A sloppy pass as well from Phil Foden allowed Gakpo to get in, but he couldn't capitalise. That's more like the corners we're looking for, but that came to nothing, to be honest, so that's a shame. I think we're going to make another substitution now. We're going to take Jota off. Okay, what we're going to have to do is we'll put... Okay, how do we do this? Right, Alexis is going to go centre attacking mid. Curtis is going to go left wing, which he can play, and then Jota can come off and Tyler Morton can come on. Not ideal, but it is what it is. It's the only sub that we can really make. Gravenberch is really tired, as is Frimpong. We've no more subs left though, so we're just going to have to go with that. Turns out we actually do have more subs because this is a friendly, technically. So Gomez can come on, and then Dorgu can... no, we need to put on someone for Gravenberch because he's so tired, but we just don't have another ball-winning midfielder in the squad. De Ligt can play there, so okay, we'll put De Ligt there for Gravenberch. We'll bring on Pavlovic. We can't actually, we're now out of subs. Okay, so yeah, Gomez can come on instead. Actually, no. No. So De Ligt can go in there and we'll take Gravenberch off for Pavlovic. Yeah. Frimpong, I'm sorry, you're just going to have to stay on. Yeah, 7 minutes at a time. City have done nothing really in this game. They probably should have scored through Haaland. That's really about it. 7 minutes full time. We are Community Shield winners now. Matthijs de Ligt is going to lift the trophy. He is our vice captain. Trent has been promoted to captain, but because Trent has broken his leg, it means that de Ligt is now club captain for the foreseeable future until Trent comes back. And it's his first competitive game for Liverpool, and he is lifting, well, technically, actually, it's not a competitive game, but he is lifting his first trophy for Liverpool at the very start of the season. Great start for de Ligt. Great start for the boys in general. I wasn't sure how this game was going to go. I wasn't sure how well the new players were going to gel. I wasn't sure exactly how much we were going to miss Salah and Virgil. Turns out that we're doing okay so far. I mean, time will tell throughout the season as to whether we made the right choice. I feel like we made the right choice, but we will find out. Obviously, we're going to miss Salah. Obviously, we're going to miss Van Dijk, but I feel like the players that we've brought in are definitely up to the task of stepping into the shoes of the players that they are replacing. So that is the Community Shield done and dusted. Thank you very much. Let's go have a look at the fixtures, see kind of where the lay of the land is in terms of our fixture list, and then we can figure out where we're going to come back for next episode. All right, so here are our fixtures. Just to point out as well, we did have a good few friendlies in pre-season. We lost 2 of them. Don't really care. We did have the European South America Club Challenge Cup thing. I've never heard of this before, but we did beat Newell's 2-0. So happy days. That was a trophy or a shield or something. We won some silverware for that. We don't really care. So where do we lie? Okay, so the Super Cup, the European Super Cup, that's definitely going to be a live com game. Sorry, not live stream, live com game. Yeah, we're going to come back next episode for the Super Cup. And then I feel like it's probably going to have to be the City game that we come back for in September. We might do a little bit on transfer deadline day. Depending on whether we're doing some deals, I might do an update on transfer deadline day. If not, if we got all our transfer business done before deadline day, I'll just come back for the City game. City away in the league, it's always going to be a big fixture for us. So always going to be an interesting fixture to do a live com on. So that's where we're going to leave it for today. We will be back for the City game. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Really, really appreciate the support. Please leave me a comment if you have anything you want to say about this save. Let me know what you think about the sales of Salah and Van Dijk and Diaz. Let me know if there's anyone you think I should sign with my 244 million transfer budget that I have. If there's anyone that you think might fit into the squad really well, please let me know in the comments down below and I'll be happy to listen to those suggestions. Give me a thumbs up on the video as well if you're liking this series. I'm having a blast playing it, to be honest. I'm really enjoying this year's edition of Football Manager. It's been a while since I really played Football Manager this in depth. Generally, I tend to skip a lot of the games. I played every single game last season live. Like, I watched them live. It's been a long time since I've done that, so I'm really happy. Give me a thumbs up if you're happy as well. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you're enjoying my content. Please give me a subscription. Hit the subscribe button. It's greatly appreciated. Also, it helps me boost my channel, grow my channel. This is all I want to do, is just grow my channel and keep making Football Manager videos. That is it from me though. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Football Manager Tactics, and I will see you in my next video.